Kefa haloka. How you doing, my Muslim friends? Have you been thinking about leaving Islam?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This brother asks a question and he says, how are you doing, my Muslim friends? Have you been thinking about leaving Islam? No, we are not thinking about leaving Islam. In fact, I am yet to see a Muslim renowned scholar leaving Islam. People are leaving Islam every day. People are leaving Christianity every day. People are leaving Judaism every day. We join. They leave Islam, come to Christianity. They leave Christianity, go to Islam. They leave Judaism, join Islam. They leave Islam, join Judaism. It has been like that, like a food chain. But I'm yet to see a renowned Muslim scholar who is certified Muslim, renowned scholar, born and bred a Muslim, trained a Muslim, who sat in a classroom and yet left Islam. It is nothing new. We don't see these things. It doesn't happen in Islam. The only people that leave Islam are the empty-headed, the tabula rasas, who have not studied Islam and did not ask questions from Muslims, turn around listening to people like you that ended up losing their faith. You understand? People see him as an Arab, and so therefore they think he has learned something. He is an Arab. There are Coptic Christians who are Arabs. There are a lot of them, and there are a lot of Arabs who have not studied anything at all in Islam. Plenty. You being you coming from Rome doesn't mean you are intellectually good in the Bible. It doesn't mean you are intellectual when it comes to biblical studies. You understand? The fact that you come from Rome or Israel. Yeah, so that's also, let's listen to them and then come back.
I want to share with you a very interesting story. Let's have a look.
Brother, we can bring you series of pastors, reverends, bishops who have embraced Islam in Ghana, in Africa, in the world. So there is nothing interesting and there is nothing new about what this guy is about to say. We've seen this. It has been that this switching has been going on everywhere. People leave Christianity, join atheism. They leave Islam, join atheism. It has been going on. But one thing we are sure about is no religion at all can disprove Islam in a dialogue, practically, in terms of knowledge and in terms of everything. Muslims deal with proofs, facts, and evidences. And we can prove if someone is going to heaven when he dies. At the point of his death, we can prove it. After all, he who dies with the kalima goes to Jannah. And we've seen some who practice Islam hypocritically that couldn't recite the kalima to Shahada. We've seen a lot of Muslims who died and they never got decomposed. But let's continue. Let's listen to them and then come back.
Hello, peace be upon you. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Brother Ismail.
Now, he greeted us that peace be upon us. Assalamu alaikum. His name is Brother Ismail. These guys, let me tell you, they are trained. They are trained. Their name is I Love Islam. They sometimes even they pretend to revert to Islam, join you, learn some aspect of the Quran, learn something about Islam. Sometimes they are even fluent in speaking Arabic. Sometimes they are even fluent in quoting the Quran, and then they then move back to Christianity. When they move back to Christianity, then they begin to talk to you that I was ex-Muslim, I was this, I have been a Muslim, so and so. They greet you with Islamic greetings. They begin to say Arabic words and stuff like that. But also, people can learn Arabic in classrooms, in schools. It doesn't make you a Muslim. Some of these tricks, it is getting out of hand. If you are an ex-Muslim, you are an ex-Muslim. What is the point in peace be unto you, salam? These are tricks. We've been hearing this from your colleagues in Ghana here, a lot of places.
I've been a Muslim for 16 years. But in the past few years, I have been bothered by some reoccurring issues.
I said it. I am here to see a renowned Muslim scholar leaving Islam to join any other religion. I'm here to see one. But we can give you renowned pastors, renowned reverends, renowned bishops who have left Christianity and joined Islam. But that's not even the issue. Muslims are reverting to Christianity. Jews are reverting from Judaism to Christianity. It is going around. It's in a circle like this. There is nothing new. There is nothing new. And this guy, like I said, they are coming from a group of people called I Love Muslims. They breed people, they train people. What they do is they make some of their members go and then embrace Islam. Once they join the Islam, the Muslims are so good that they teach them Islam. They make them understand certain verses from the Quran. Or some of them even chew the Quran off head, memorize the Quran. They teach them, they make them know the Quran. But they go in with the intention of being able to be fluent with the Arabic language and being able to recite the Quran in order to convince the Muslim that he has been a Muslim before, he is learned and he has seen this, and that. It is their trick. We know these things. This is nothing new. This will not add anything to you. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. It is Allah Azza wa Jalla who sent his messenger to bring us the truthful deen, the truthful religion. And that religion will overcome every religion on earth, even if you guys dislikes it. That's the fact. Let's continue.
Which have forced me to question my Islamic faith. And recently I have decided to finally leave Islam, and in this video I will explain why.
So he decided to leave Islam, and in this video he's about to explain why. So let's listen to him and then respond to his claims, inshallah.
Now, I don't think it's fair for Muslims to consider me as some kind of traitor or sellout, because over the years I've done my best to be faithful and loyal to Islam.
Now, this portion even proves this guy does not know anything. If you were practicing Islam to please Muslims or please Islam, then you did not even know over the years what you were doing. Like I said, these guys are a group of people trained. They come, they embrace Islam, they join Islam for 10 years, 15 years, they go out and they begin to say these things. You understand? You have not said anything. It means you did not even practice Islam for the sake of Allah. You did not practice Islam for the sake of Allah. You are living Islam not for the sake of Allah, and you did not even join Islam for the sake of Allah. You were practicing it so that Muslims will see you. You see, your intentions were not even good enough. That is why Allah Azza wa Jalla removed you from his deen. We pray for Allah to guide you, inshallah. Let's continue.
I did not play games with Islam, and I took my Islamic faith very seriously.
This is a lie. He never took his Islam seriously. He was playing games with Islam. For Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وَمَنْ يَعْشَ عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ نَقَيِّدْ لَهُ شَيْطَانَ فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ. If you take Islam, if you play with your faith, if you play with your iman, if you play with your religion, then, or if you play with the remembrance of Allah, if you don't remember Allah that much, نَقَيِّدْ لَهُ شَيْطَانَ, then Allah, Shaitan will have power over you, and then that Shaitan will remove you from Islam. You understand? And another point is that if you are indeed praying on time, you are indeed not playing with Islam, then guess this verse too. You will never be able to leave Islam. You know why? Because Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Inna salata tanha anil fahshahi wal munkar. The salat will remove you from every wrongful way. It will put you to the straight path of Islam. My brother, you were never praying. You were never praying. You were playing with your Islam. And this is a fact.
And whenever I found any Islamic teaching difficult, problematic, or controversial, I always did my best to research the issue for myself and for my fellow Muslims.
In fact, there has not been a single problematic issue in Islam. There won't be, and there has not been any. And there won't even be any. And this is a fact. When you should have said, whenever you find something you do not understand in Islam, there is no problematic in Islam. You understand? But when, for example, if I'm a mathematics teacher and I put a question on board, it becomes a problem to the student, but it is not a problem for mathematics. You understand? And the teacher understands it. So you begin to answer questions based on your own allusions, and you were roaming on internet based on your illusions rather, and you were roaming on the internet seeking for answers on the internet instead of visiting the scholars of Islam. Then you turn around to ask your fellow colleague Muslims. Some of them do not even understand Islam and they cannot explain to you. So you ended up losing your faith due to your own ignorance and inconsistency and also dishonesty in your heart.
To resolve it. I certainly was not perfect, but I think very few people would question my sincerity to Allah, Muhammad, and to Islam. So I can assure you that I was committed to this religion called Islam. Now,
Wallah, you are not committed. It is these things is like the kuffar who went to the prophet and said, "We believe, we are believers, we are the true Muslims." And Allah Azza wa Jalla told the prophet to tell them that no, you are Muslims, but then the iman, the faith has not entered you yet. You understand? So that's your case. You are thinking you believe in Allah. You are thinking you are so honest in Islam. You've given your everything in Islam. No, you weren't having the faith. That is why in Quran 49 verse 14 says, "Qalat al-Arabu amanna." The desert Arabs say, "We believe." Kullam tu'minu. Say, you have not believed. Walakin kulu aslamna. But say you have submitted, you are Muslims. So you were a Muslim, you never had faith. No, there is no faith in you. Walamma yadkhulul imanu. For faith has not yet entered your heart. Fi qulubikum, your heart. Wa in tuti'u Allah wa rasula. But if you obey Allah and His Messenger, la yalitkum min amalikum shay'a. He will not diminish any of your deeds. Inna Allah ghafur rahim. Allah is forgiving and Allah is merciful. So you were never having the faith. You are just bragging that you had the faith, you had the faith. No, you were bragging.
let me address the title of this video. The question, why I left Islam.
Who cares to know why you left Islam? Who has been asking you why you left Islam? Who cares anyway? You live in Islam, it's sugar. It's like sugar. And if you are in Islam, it's like honey. No difference, bro. You understand? If you are in Islam, it is honey. If you live, it is sugar. You understand? There is nothing new. So we don't care. You left Islam and thousands are joining already. Thousands are joining already. So who cares about you living? You don't pay anything to a Muslim. No Muslim demands anything from you. So who cares if you leave Islam or you join Islam? You are the one who is losing. Islam will win with or without you, but you lose without Islam. That's a fact.
The answer to this question is the Quran and Muhammad and their teachings on moral standards and conduct.
I am yet to see a scripture with the highest moral standard than the Quran. I'm yet to see so. And I'm yet to see a man with the highest moral standard than Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm yet to see one. That is why we've seen scholars giving him the most influential person on earth, and so. These things are plenty. I don't want to talk about it. The moral standard of the prophet is beyond your imagination. It is because of you are judging the standard of morality of the West against Islam. Even the West themselves know, even today, that corruption has entered Arabia. When you look at the moral standard in Arabia compared to that of the West, you will always go for Arabia unless you have no sense. Unless you are looking for a way to fornicate, to become a lesbian, to become a gay, to become a LGBTQI+, to become whatever you want to become. You need some freedom to do whatever you want. But when you talk of morality, standard, morality, nothing, no religion comes closer to Islam. Billahi.
You see, over the past few years, I have found that I am no longer able to defend the Quran and especially Muhammad's.
But who has hired you to defend the Quran? Who has hired you to defend Prophet Muhammad? Nobody has hired you to defend Muhammad. Everybody tries to say whatever you want to say. If the Prophet was defended by man, if the Quran was defended by man, the Quran would have been buried long ago. Islam would have died long ago. But the one that protects Islam, it is Allah Azza wa Jalla. Huwa allazi arsala rasulahu bil huda wa dinil haqqi liyudhhirahu ala dini kulli walau kariha al kafirun wa walau kariha al mushrikun. And again, the one that protects the Quran is Allah Azza wa Jalla. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafizun. Quran 15 verse number 9. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his protector is Allah Azza wa Jalla. Wallahu yahsimuka. So you know it is not human being that is protecting this. Other than that, Islam would have been dead by now. You cannot defend Islam. You made the wrong choice by saying you are the one defending Islam. You can't.
morals and conduct. In the past, I have done my best to defend Islam, and in particular to defend Muhammad from the claims and charges made against him.
Where did you defend him? On which platform? Where? We've seen the likes of Khalid Yassin. We've seen the likes of Mufti Menk, Dr. Zakir Naik, Yasser Kadi, Asim Al-Hakim. We've seen a lot of guys around defending Islam, and it is so open. Even Louis Farhan, it is so open. They are outside there defending Islam. We've never seen you before. Where did you defend Islam? That for the past few years, you cannot defend Islam. You cannot defend. Even they are not defending Islam. They are only doing their part. And nobody has hired anybody to defend Islam. You cannot defend Islam. The moral standard of the Prophet is the best. If you cannot cope with it, question your own morality, question your own character, not the Prophet.
I tried my best to love Muhammad, and I can prove I stood up for him and defended him many times.
That's it. This guy has just fulfilled the verse I just recited. He said, I try my best to defend Muhammad. I try my best to love him. Who told you to be trying your best to love him? Love, you don't have to try your best to love someone. If love is real, you don't try your best to do it. It just comes on its own way. You've never defended the Prophet. Nobody's asking you to defend the Prophet.
For example, I produce videos like Was Muhammad Merciful?, where I try to provide examples of Muhammad's good character. And my video, Who Are the Islam Haters?, where I tried to refute and expose the anti-Islamic critics. And I made many more videos in which I defended Islam and Muhammad.
Like I said, I love Muslim guys. That's what they do. They will try to do some videos to serve as an evidence, as a witness. If you indeed had that iman, and indeed you've seen something, you can consult. There are muftis around that you can question. Then they will give you answers. There are muftis around who can give you answers to everything. Who ordered you to be defending Islam when you don't even know Islam? For 16 years, you join Islam. You join Islam for only 16 years. What have you studied? What have you learned? We were born in Islam. We've been studying Islam till date. We've not finished studying Islam. What did you learn? What certificate did you acquire before going out to defend Islam? You went to destroy yourself because you did not study Islam before going out to defend it. You can't defend what you've not studied. So you were disgraced and humiliated. And out of your humiliation, you left Islam. Who cares anyway?
Most of the time I was successful in defending Muhammad against those who were attacking his character, as I was well educated in Islam and I studied Islamic apologetics for years.
There is no certain subject like Islamic apologetics. So this guy, like I said, was just roaming on internet, reading from probably Islamic site, answering Christianity, those Islam.ca and so forth and so on. He has not studied Islam genuinely. So there is nothing like Islamic apologetics. We have Nahu, it's a subject. We have Saraf, it's a subject. We have Sira, it's a subject. We have Fiqh, it's a subject. We have Lugha, it's a subject. We have Hadith, it's a subject. We have Tafsir, it's a subject, and so forth and so on. But we don't have Islamic apologetics. No, we don't study it. It is not part of Islam. You were only roaming on internet trying to become Islamic and apologetic. Nobody has called you there. You are not knowledgeable enough to go there. You understand?
However, while I was defending Islam, I had noticed many of the criticisms were actually valid and based on authentic early Islamic sources. And I found myself at a loss to find adequate, honest responses to them. In the coming videos, I shall share with you many of the allegations made against the Quran and Muhammad that I could no longer defend.
If you see anything that is authentic, that you could not defend, it is either you did not understand it, or you did not understand what the text itself is saying. That is why you couldn't defend it. That is why I said you don't go out to be defending Islam when you have not acquired the knowledge of Islam itself. You were only roaming to become an apologetic. You have not studied Islam in any way. So let's listen to the coming videos that he is about to talk about.
But for the sake of brevity, in this video I will provide you with one example on the topic of sexual immorality. As shocking as it may seem, both the Quran and Muhammad teach that it's permissible, halal, to capture and rape female war captives, even if these women are married and their non-Muslim husbands are still alive.
Now, first of all, let's look at Islamic rulings from the Hadith that is talking about even raping a slave. When you cross-check Al-Muwatta Malik, volume 2, page number 734, it says, Imam Malik said, in our view, the man who rapes a woman, whether she is a virgin or not, if she is a free woman, he must pay a dowry like that of a peer, like that of a peers. And if she is a slave, he must pay whatever has been detracted from her value. The punishment is to be carried out on the rapist, and there is no punishment for the woman who has been raped, whatever the case. Where does Islam say it permits raping of women or war captives? Look at this. If the woman is a slave, you will have to pay. Two, Sheikh Salman al-Baji, rahimahullah, he says, in the case of a woman who is forced or raped, if she's a free woman, the one who forced her must pay her dowry like that of her peers, and the hard punishment is to be carried out on him. He must be flogged or be killed. This is the view of Shafi'i, and it is the view of Al-Layth, and it was narrated from Ali ibn Abi Talib. Abu Hanifa and Al-Thawri said the hard punishment is to be carried out on him, but is not obliged to pay the dowry. So raping a woman, whether who or she, there's a punishment. Why do you come out and lie to people? Al-Muntaha Sharhul Muwatta, volume 5, page number 268 to 269. It says the evidence for what we say is that hard punishment and the dowry are two rights, one of which is the right of Allah and the other is the right of the other person. So they may be combined, as in the case of a thief whose hand is cut off and is required to return the stolen goods. That's it. Ibn Abdul Barra said the scholars are unanimous, agreed that the rapist is to be subjected to the hard punishment if there is a clear evidence against him that he deserves that the punishment, or he admits to that. Otherwise, he is to be punished. If there is no proof, the hard punishment for zina may be carried out against him because he does not confess and there are not 4 witnesses. Then the judge may not punish him and stipulate a punishment that would deter him and others like him. There is no punishment for the woman if it is true that she was forced and overpowered her, which may be proven by screaming and shouting for help. Al-Istizkar, volume 7, hadith number 146. So you see, my brother, you did not learn Islam. You just come out to lie to people that Islam permits raping of slaves and war captives. You want to know where raping of slaves is permissible? Let's read Numbers 31. I am about to surprise you now. Numbers 31, God sent Moses alayhi salatu wasalam. He spoke to Moses and sent Moses to avenge the children of Israel over the Midianites, over shout thou be gathered unto people. And Moses spoke unto the people, saying, arm some of yourselves to the war, and let them go against the Midianites and avenge the Lord of the Midian. So everything that is going to happen here is of the Lord. The Lord approves of it. You understand? So let's see. They went to the war and they won. And what happened? So let's see in verse 17. It says, therefore, kill every male among the little ones and kill every woman that has known man by lying with him. But all the women children that have known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourself. That have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourself. So how do you know that this woman is a virgin and that one is not a virgin? You must have sex with them or finger them before you get to know. If your fingers are able to penetrate easily, she's not a virgin. If it is not able to penetrate, she is a virgin. Or you have sex with the person by raping the person. If you have sex, it's by rape. When you have sex with the person and it penetrates easily, you did not see blood, the person is actually not a virgin. She has to be killed. And if she's a virgin, you will see blood. So therefore, the person is not supposed to be killed. This is a rape. A clear rape in your Bible, and you come around to say that Islam, it is Islam that permits rape. Well, so you don't know your own books, Anna.
So let's investigate the Islamic sources to see what they say. The Quran in chapter 4 verses 22 and 23 informs Muslim men about the categories of women which they are forbidden to marry. But in ayah number 24 we read, وَالْمُحْصَنَاتُ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ إِلَّا مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. Also forbidden are women already married, except those whom your right hands possess. So we see here in the Quran an exception, an example, where it is permissible, halal, for a Muslim man to marry a woman who already has a husband. But who are these women described as being owned or possessed by your right hand? For the answer, let us turn to the most famous commentator on the Quran.
Now when you cross-check Jalalaini, in Surah An-Nisa, ayah number 24, it says, and forbidden to you are wedded women, those with spouses. You cannot marry a woman who already has a husband. That you should marry before they have left their spouses, be they Muslim free women or not. If she's a free woman or not, you're not supposed to marry her because she's already married. Save what your right hands own of captured slave girls. This is a girl who is not married. You can marry such person. Note, whom you may have sexual intercourse with, even if they should have spouses among the enemy camp. It says, but only after they have been absolved of the possibility of pregnancy, after the completion of one menstrual cycle. This is what God has prescribed for you. And it says, lawful for you, God has prescribed for you. Beyond all that is except what he has forbidden you of women, is that you seek women using your wealth. Even if she is a slave, you use your wealth to seek her by way of dowry or a price. You name a price to her in wedlock and not fornicating in illicitity. This is it. And it's not talking about raping anybody. So, but even if she's a slave, you have to woo her before you marry her. Such wives as you enjoy thereby and have had sexual intercourse with, give them their wages. The dowries that you have assigned them as an obligation, you are not at fault in agreeing together. You and they, after the obligation is waived, decreased or increased. God is ever knowing of his creatures, wise in what he has ordained for them. So if Islam approves of rape, why will this ruling ever come? The ruling I read about rape, being put to heart, being punished, being flogged, and so forth and so on. It is not talking about rape, but you have to talk to them, use your money, agree on a particular price to her, and then you marry her. My brother, you did not study Islam and you went out over there to say you want to go and defend Islam. You will always disgrace yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zana Company Limited, in fact, who a good year, who a copper, who a silver, who a gold, our person will say, when electroplating, when the baby uncle, I just Zana Company Limited, who a good year, person will understand your pay, when the silver chain, when the golden chain, when the golden ring. Then a person when you know Zana basis any amount. In fact, what organizes sports, open cup, and now medals be that to Mukomu, Zana Company Limited, but to me I any kind of jewelry at all. Zana Company and a young Wejuma. Zana ewa himfa. Here Zana ewa Nungwa behind Fidelity Bank. Raviko ewa and a Zana ewa. Number 7 friends Zana 0240 481 568 0240 481 568 and 0248 42 44 93 0248 42 44 93. We are Henny, we are Penny, we are Goody, we are Catesia, we are Bugger, we are Golden Chain, or a wrist banner, or then one, a gold, copper, silver, a jewel in Quadia. Kwayo pesa yensiese no famo biara no yebetumi aye ediamo enti contact Zana Company Limited na omamwa inshallah enwe nyina be wo so Annabi Muhammad sayyidun Annabi Muhammad adin Annabi Muhammad
مهود النبي محمد مقدم النبي محمد عزيز النبي محمد فاضل النبي محمد مفضل النبي محمد 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 النبي محمد محمد النبي رسول الله النبي